Sorry about that, guys. It is very early here, as usual, here at the Toy Smuggler headquarters. Man, but I had to get these videos in. The best time for me to work is like 2 a.m., 4 a.m., stuff like that. But I got something really cool. This was a last-minute video I decided to do. I'm doing the intro here, and I'm going to show you a picture. It's the Archives Yoda. Really cool figure. Love the details on it. But really, I think it's just a little too clean, and I think his skin is just a little too dark. If you look at pictures here of the Empire Strikes Back of him, he's very pale. Seems like the older he got, the more pale he should be. So I'm going to be lighting his skin up, dirtying up his clothes, trying to pop his necklace a little bit, do a little work on the snake. And like I said, and what inspired me to do this is when I'm working on, y'all just seen where I posted the Yoda, the 3 3/4 inch vintage play set and done the custom paint job in it. I had just so much fun with it, and I looked over at my Yoda. I was like, needs a little work. Needs a touch of the Toy Smuggler on him. So here I am. Hope you enjoy this last minute video. Hope you enjoy. Alright guys, here this is a very impromptu video. I wasn't even planning on recording any of this, but I just got done finishing doing the highlights on the Yoda's Swamp, the 4-inch scale. And one thing, I got the new Archives Yoda, which I really do like it. I think it's the exact same sculpt as the one that came out several years ago. But the only thing I did not like about this is that I thought he was too clean on the wardrobe and on his green on the skin. I'm going to put some pictures that I downloaded from the Empire Strikes Back movie. He was a much lighter, so I think he needs some highlights on here. And I'm going to try to give you a close-up here. So what I was going to do, I was going to disrobe him here, and because I didn't want none of the green on his clothing. So we'll see if we can't dirty him up a little bit and make him look a little bit more realistic. Alright, now we got little Yoda here. Got him disrobed and stuff, and I really like the sculpt that they did on him, and I love the construction. I'm going to show this here on this belt. They hid the clasp with the pouch here, and I really like that, but I'm going to do some accents to that and make that little rope detail stick out better. But like I said, I'm not even really cleaned my brush. Going back in the yellow. Let me load my brush real quick here. Like I said, if you think you got too much, you can dab it on a rag. Now all I'm wanting to do here is just lightly touch him up a little bit. But I need to do a couple passes to see if this is the right shade that I'm looking for. It may be too yellow. And I think it's too yellow. So with that being said, I can just rub it in, no big deal. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip to it for you guys, and I'm going to add a touch of white to this mixture to lighten up. That way it's light with not having too much of a yellow tint. That's what I was afraid of, but I just wanted to try out to see if I was right. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and what I've done here, I created me put the colors out here. The top one here is that yellow green mixture that we was using. Now I added some titanium white, and I wanted that really light, kind of like a light olive color. So, and that's what I think is really going to make a difference and make this Yoda, I just think he's just a touch too dark. So let's go in here and see what we can do here. And see, and I'm putting it on and I'm tapping it with my finger to soften it up a little bit. And what you do is the pores on your finger will almost create pores on the toy itself with the paint. Kind of give it that same kind of little feel there. Try to get some here on his nose. Make sure you guys can see this here. Like I said, I'm just trying to feather it in because I want it to stay on the top of the accent of all the sculptural details here. Put it on, tap it off. Yes. And it really looks like it's popping the detail out a little bit better. If you could even too, and I don't know if I got one handy, one of them black makeup brushes is really good for this kind of stuff. Let's see, I'm trying to be as light as I can here. Got a little bit on the shirt, no big deal. Just wipe it right off. But I do got this right here for blending. It's a nice little Q-tip. Yeah. Kind of roll it on. And that's really, yeah, that's making all the difference in the world there. And as you can see, I don't know if the camera is picking this up. See, look how much more detail versus that side. It's making this detail because it's very good sculpt on this. Have you ever the digital? I know this was a digital sculpt. And just getting it on there. Obviously, way too much, but that's fine. So you just take your Q-tip. Sometimes you need a dab to remove paint. Do a roll to blend. Oh yeah, it's really softening him up. And I think on Yoda, when he's more dark green, kind of like episode 1, it kind of makes him look a touch evil. The dark green does. And when you put the light green on him, I don't know, to soften him up, you know, makes him a little bit more appealing to kids, I believe. So, just making sure we get to get the back of these ears. Even though you don't view that as much. So, see, we can see a difference here. I'm going to do one ear and not do the other, so we can compare. Just roll it on. Just do a light little feather here, soften it. Now see, look at the difference there. You can really see the difference between the two. And it still is allowing the details to show through. But it is softening him up just a hair. Like I said, I just think he was just a shade too darker green. Even the old vintage toy was much lighter than this. I'm going to try to get up there in that little neck area here without getting all over his clothes. There we go. But even if I do get on there, no big deal. See, that's one good thing I love about oil paint. You got so much time to mess with it. Much better. I like that. Let's see here. Alright, guys. You can see that really, I think, lightening him up a little bit, pop some of the sculptural details, and I think it softens him up and kind of takes some of the mean out of him. So, and the same process with the hands. You just real fast throw a little bit on there, and then you just take your Q-tip, do some blending. And then look at the difference there. So it really softens it up versus the harsh green. So I think it does really good with the details. Let's see here. Don't have to be so crazy about how you put it on. Just kind of get it on there. You can see how your brushes, the Q-tips kind of get fuzzy. That will work in your favor here. Yeah, much better. And I think we might need just a little bit more on the very crown of his head. A touch there. There we go. And the feet probably won't take much. Trying to get them here where you can see them here. Very little. I mean, because you're not going to see, the robe kind of hides most of his toes barely stick out, so that might just a little bit there. And like I said, you can really go to the pains and getting some of the blacks and really deepen up this little undergarment suit here, but you don't see it because when you put him together, you want the robe on him. So don't think that there's any use in doing that. So, but one other cool thing that we can do while we got the camera rolling, I liked how that looked, is we can take a touch of that black. It's just ivory black is all it is. And we can use it straight black, but I'm also going to mix some of this green up. And I'm going to make like a gray. Like I said, I just got a dab here. I didn't need much at all. And what I'm going to do is, on his little belt thing here, and like on that little pouch. Wow. Is that like a blue glue? Or is this blue platinum? A little blue was on mine. Huh. Interesting. Must be like a glue they use. But anyway, you're just going to tap into the black. Let me throw this in here. Try to get you guys to see some of the process here. It's hard. Alright. There we go. All we're doing, touch of black. Kind of making a greenish gray. And all I'm going to do here is just slap it on here. Really good. Okay. I know you're thinking, well, hey, that's kind of messy. Don't worry about it. Boom. Take your rag. Now you're coming out and you're just smacking at it. Boom. Now you can see all those little threads that you couldn't see before. Now, if I had to guess, the camera's probably not going to pick this up. But it did. I'm going to try to take some pictures of this so you can see a little bit better detail. But stuff this small is so aggravating. And then you can go lighter. You just take your dirty brush, keep it in that same green right here. Now see how that's automatically turning into a shade lighter. Now you think you still got some white here. Here we go. Had some white where I dropped it on the thing right there. So I've got a nice light color here. And all I'm going to do is take his little necklace here, not on the neck part, but just lightly feather some age on top of it, ever so lightly. And then you can even, just like I said, take your rag. Try to do this on the camera where you can see it. Take some of it off. There. Yeah, just a touch. Like I said, you just need it. Almost put it on, wipe it right back off. And like I said, the camera's not really picking this up as well as what I want, unfortunately. That's one thing I have to say. This is an Icon. I love the quality of film. I love how they do their audio and stuff. But when it comes to focusing on tiny things, I don't like Nikons. And the only other thing I think that's good for the figure. Oh yeah, the black. We're going to go straight into the black here. And like I said, it's not a straight black because I got a dirty brush with some of that white on it. And all I'm going to do now is, over here where this little pouch was, bam, slap some on there. Come back with a rag. Wipe a little bit off. Boom. All I'm doing is dirtying this thing up a little bit. Like I said, don't even have to be perfect. Like I said, because like I said, I'm going to be laying this stuff to the side. In a day or two, it'll be nice and tied in there. Won't smear. But it now dirtied that up really good. And the idea that I got for his tunic, and you see I got nasty hands, so it's alright here. And my idea I had for this, because if you look in the movie, this is already starting to rad up a little bit, but I think if I go in there, take some of my coffee here, which I need a shot. I'm thinking about pouring some of my coffee in a cup, dipping it down, wringing it out, and laying it to the side. So let's go see how that happens. Alright, everyone, I come in here, I got some coffee, I poured it in this in a regular plain old plastic cup. Got his little tunic here. I'm here at my sink. Crazy little sink. Alright, now all I'm going to do is dip it in and let it sit there just for a minute. Come over here and pour it out and see what happens. And I don't think it can hurt it, but I think coffee would be a stain that's not going to be too harsh. I think this would be the best way to go and not be over, because you use anything, any kind of paint will be sitting on top of it instead of really soaking into it, and that's what I want, some soaking. Just sticking it right in. I'm going to pull it right back out. Go over here to the thing. Alright, now I'm going to put a little water on it. And I'm thinking that the more I try to rinse it out, till I get it to the desired, desired color that I'm going for. As you notice, it did not take long to stain this. Very thin material. I think they used a pretty good material for it. See, it's got all those nice little ridges and stuff in it. So, and plus too, sitting there working this fabric like this, squeezing it to death, I think it's going to be really good for it. And two, I think you can do this, get a touch of hand soap, put in it. Won't hurt it none. I think that might lift just enough out. One good thing about this, we got some great pictures online already that I can use to show him what he looks like before all this. And I'll try to take the best shots I can. Try to blow them up, but I think this is a really nice color. I think this is going to go good. And also, too, in the movie, I think his, I'll double check later, I honestly think his was a touch of gray. But we'll go with the coffee stain for right now. And I'm going to review some pictures online. If it needs a touch of gray, then we'll take this through another process. And I'll show you that as well. Alright guys, I think the coffee stain was a great success. It really did. And I think the only thing I got left to do, I need to put some dirty wear. And like I said, I didn't want to use straight paint. So what I went and done, run to the kitchen, grabbed a, let's see if we get this focus in here. It's a Jim's extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil, linseed oil, it don't matter. Just a touch of oil. And all I'm going to do is get a drop in here. There you go. It's oil paint. It's simple as that, folks. Don't overcomplicate it. And all I'm going to do is go back to that kind of blackish gray mixture. I'm going to go straight into this oil here. And see how this is not, it's more of a gray, dirty gray. And I load it up, and then as I'm coming out, pulling some of this out. Now, alright, so I'm going to flip this over. You don't want to just put this anywhere. It's got to make sense. So what I'm going to do here, and I think it should be the worst part, should be right here toward the bottom of his clothing, where it may be dragging and stuff like that. And what this is so thin, it's going to soak in versus sitting on top. But this is a way you can do this with using control. And you want some right here, because he's sitting a lot. He's always sitting on some log. So right here where he would be sitting would work. And also too, the bottom of his arms. Reaching out and grabbing things. Laying his forearm on a log or whatever. So you got to think logistics here on what it would do. What would really happen here. And I think this right here, this technique here is really, go left-handed here, is going to make the difference of this piece, I believe. I really do. And you can add some on the inside right here.
Like I said, this is still wet, by the way. It's not going to hurt it at all. And actually, probably it being slightly, what it is, I rolled it up in a paper towel, squeezed it really good, got the excess, all the excess out. So actually, it being a touch damp, it should soak in this little very thin, oily mixture that I created here. And I also, too, I think just a touch up these little edges here, like if you're holding something. Just a touch. You know, he's grabbing it with dirty hands and putting it on. Stuff like that. Right there underneath them underarms. Take a look at your old t-shirts. They get soiled pretty easy right in those areas. And you can see this is really coming along good, I believe. What it's not looking as flat, and it's really helping bring these little ridges out a little bit more. You couldn't really tell before I washed it, but actually getting this piece wet is really tightening up those wrinkles really good, and I really like how that's coming out. And see, it's really soaking in and fading up a little bit. So all these, it's not going to be too dark, but we just want it accented. That's another reason why I chose the olive oil, because I knew it would soak into the fabric. Alright, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. It's that simple. And like I said, when all this dries, I'll get the camera back out, put it all back together, and we'll do some comparison photos. Thank you for joining me. Real quick, I just want to add this and make a note. What I did was just wipe my brush off, stuck it back in that black mixture that I had up here, and I coated the snake all over. And then what I did after that, I just laid him down, laid the paper towel over it, mashed a couple of it. And the reason why I wanted to dull this top, because almost all snakes, they tend to be slightly darker on the top and brighter on the bottom. And I was wanting to create that, because see, the original piece of this, it was this color on top and bottom. The top was just a little too dark, so I just dulled it up a little bit, and it's really gotten there and showed the detail. So we're going to let that dry too. I just wanted to show the contrast. There's a little bit right there, no big deal. But I think it really actually brought out the details in its face really well. So just like a simple little wash, I think that's going to add to it as well. So just wanted to add that in real quick.
Alright guys, there you have it. Boom, here we go. I really love how this little guy turned out. He's looking, I may even dirty him up just a little bit more. Once I get him up on an environment and get to look at him more, and I'm going to try to look around for some more photos of him and stuff. But I really do think this little guy, he just looks, even from a distance, he looks so much better. Like I said, I just think his skin color was just a little too dark. And like I said, if they would just took that extra little step and putting a olive green mist spray over him before they worked on his eyes. But I mean, other than that, like I said, but I'm kind of glad they don't do it sometimes, because this gives me a perfect excuse to put my hands on it. And this is where I really enjoy toys in my older age. It's not the playing with them, it's just the working on them. I love taking something that's already on a good track and really taking it home and making it that much better. Like I said, a lot of fun, and this is what all this business is supposed to be out, is your enjoyment, looking back on the memories. Like I said, I had a lot of fond memories with a 3 3/4 inch and playing on that play set, and now here I am older, you know, making my own toys and getting to touch up all the new designs that are coming out. And like I said, it's just a lot of good fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this little segment. If you want to see more of stuff like this, please just leave a comment, share to your friends about what we're doing here at the Sexton Creations and the Toy Smuggler. And like I said, we're just here to give you what you guys are wanting. So please just let me know in the comments what you want. There's always more new and exciting things here to come out of the Toy Smuggler and Sexton Creations.